not actually had this experience before. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So it's similar to in person in that we will be using what's called cognitive behavioral therapy. The way it's delivered will be a little bit different. So we'll be making use of more digital worksheets. Zoom actually has a whiteboard that we can use. And I know that you're familiar with the Zoom platform because you use it at work. So um, just to let you know about confidentiality, I know that you raised a few issues about, you don't want anyone seeing or accessing this. So all my counselling sessions are encrypted, and that means that there's a code that only I have. So, there
So no one else can hear us or see us?
no, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm in a very safe room and all my files and everything are locked. And on digital platform, I do have passwords for everything that only I have access to. So
Okay.
does that sound okay with you? Like, I know people are a bit, online's a new experience, especially with counselling. So I can understand there could be some concerns there about confidentiality.
Yes, yeah. Look, I just really don't like seeing myself on the screen, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable and anxious. And I'm not sure this is going to be for me because I don't like seeing myself, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, I can hear that. And look, I understand it can be distracting, and I understand that's why you're coming or asking for some support. What we can do, Sharon, is a part of CBT and mindfulness, which will help alleviate some of your anxieties, some exercises, but also we can just do this gradually. It doesn't have to be that you're looking at yourself the whole time. There is a opportunity for you to turn the video off whenever you want, and so you can just see me. So
Okay.
I want you to feel in control of this session. And what we will do is some gradual exposure just to alleviate some of those distractions and concerns. Can I ask, can you expand a bit more about what it is? Is it just distracting or
Yeah, and I just don't like seeing myself on the screen.
yeah.
It's very distracting because I keep looking at you, keep looking at myself, and I just don't like
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, as I said, we can just do some gradual exposure. I know that you've had difficulties with even doing web calls or FaceTime with friends and family. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I avoid it all the time. I avoid it. I
Yeah.
prefer to just speak on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see that I'm like, from my view, I'm quite small and I'm up the top. So I've got you sort of as the central focus. We can change that and alter it so that you're not sort of looking at yourself, you're more just looking at me. And as I said, we can actually turn the video off, or you can from your end. And I believe you know how to do that. You can just turn it
Yeah.
on and
Yeah.
off. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and we can do some exercises where it's gradual exposure. So you get build up a bit more, I guess, tolerance of seeing yourself and being able to just focus on who you're speaking to. It's a big part of your work, isn't it? Doing web calls.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it just makes me feel sick to my stomach sometimes,
Okay.
I don't like it.
How have you
Mm.
managed in the past? Because I know that you've actually had to do it. And it seems to me like you've done it successfully. So how have you actually managed to get through those meetings?
Well, I've just had to do it, but I haven't felt very comfortable doing it, and I
Mm.
feel like I muck up my sentences sometimes because I'm that nervous and anxious.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we can run this how you feel comfortable. I'm hearing that you're not sure whether telehealth could be useful for you. And look, there
Yeah.
are some benefits, pros and cons to telehealth. So why don't we just address those or
So
bring them?
what's different between a telehealth and a face-to-face consult?
Well, I think as you've highlighted, it is when you're sitting in a room with someone, the connection is sometimes easier. And, we don't have the distraction of potential technology issues such as the Wi-Fi lagging or the difference would be that obviously our connection will take a bit more effort in terms of we can't see each other's full body, so the body language could be a barrier there. However, we can do it, and the other benefit of it is that you don't have to travel. So if there's something that crops up, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to worry about getting to the office. And I think the main difference is that we'll be using online digital technologies in terms of with CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, it would be a bit more sort of structured in person, whereas I'll give you activities that you can do at home at your pace. Certainly, we'll be going through it throughout the session. The only other thing is that, there could be potential interruptions. I don't know about you, but I live near a busy street, so I've got to make sure my office is quite soundproof when I'm doing this. Do you have I think you said that you have got your own room that you can have these sessions in. Do you feel quite safe and secure with confidentiality and disruptions in your room?
Yes. I'm okay at home. Yeah, when I'm
Yeah.
here on my own. So how often will the appointments be, and for how long? How long will they run? How long?
Well, generally it would be a 50-minute session, but if you're feeling anxious or you're getting to the point where it's just enough, I mean, it's your session. You can call it. We can turn both the videos off and just chat as we normally would over the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think you said that you were looking for weekly sessions, so we would start once a week, and then if you felt like you were getting a bit more comfortable, we could drop it back to 2. You're in control of this, Sharon, so
Okay.
it's
Right.
completely
Yeah.
up to you.
Okay.
Just on that
Okay.
note, I will say the other thing, which was a good question that you asked about the differences, because I'm not actually with you, I don't know, some clients may be left feeling quite upset, or there could be, I saw that too. Don't worry. That's again,
Sorry.
technical issues. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, someone tried to call me. I do apologize.
Oh, that's
Yes.
all right. See, these are the
Oh,
things, the distractions that can happen. So that's perfectly fine. You're just given an example. In an in-person session, you'd have your phone on mute and it wouldn't affect the internet connection. So that's all right. I've got my phone completely off during these sessions. Having said that, I do need to, because we're not in person, if there's a crisis or something, we do need a backup plan. So in case, you're leaving the counselling session and you're feeling vulnerable, we need to have securities in place so that you're safe. And that might be asking like where you're located during the session. So I know at the start of each session where you actually are in case something happens. If the internet causes a disturbance and it drops out, I'll do a phone call to you if that's all right.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I can give a call because we can't, internet's not always secure in terms of we don't know if the electricity is going to go out or something happens and we lose our connection. I'll give you a phone call with your permission. Does
Okay.
that sound okay?
Yep. Yep.
And please don't worry about the phone call. Is everything okay? Do you need to go and take the call or?
Yes. No, it's fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
it's fine.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So how does that sound in terms of me checking in where you are at the beginning of each session? Sorry, getting tongue-tied here.
Yeah.
And also a follow-up phone call if it drops out.
Yes, that sounds fine. Okay.
And you have
Yeah.
provided an emergency contact, which is great.
Yeah.
So just to recap in terms of, that picture-in-picture, it's a way that we can bring up the whiteboard so that we're not on screen, and then I can sort of use diagrams and talk
Yep.
through CBT a bit more with you. And
Okay.
CBT is about challenging, unhelpful thoughts. So we can get to the bottom of why you're feeling so anxious about seeing yourself on screen and just do some exercises that hopefully alleviate some of that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Does that sound
I feel
okay?
much better now that we've talked about all that. Yes. I feel
Yeah.
Perhaps that, maybe this is a good option for me, for myself. Yeah.
What were you expecting out of a telehealth? Because you've obviously thought about in-person and telehealth and you've decided to contact me for a telehealth session. What was your expectations?
Well, I was just hoping that it would be, personal and confidential, and that it would be easier to do it via telehealth. But yeah, my only worries and concerns were whether it was, secure and safe,
Right.
and the fact that I just do not like seeing myself on the screen. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you understand now that it is as secure as it can be in terms of similarly to in person. We have a filing cabinet, we lock our notes away, or if we keep notes on our computers. And I will just remind you of the mute button if something happens and you need to take a call or you want to pause for a second, you know how to do that. So I'll just see how we're up in the right corner and it's got my name as the host and then it's got yourself. Can you see the
Yes,
mute
yes.
button? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Mine's down the bottom.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm
if
on
you
my
need,
phone. Yeah, yeah,
oh, okay. So if you
yeah.
need to mute for any reason, if something happens, one of your kids, I know you've got teenagers, comes in,
Yes,
just feel free to mute. And as I said, if you're getting to a point where you need to, really focus a bit more on without seeing yourself, just let me know and we can turn the video off. Now I'm just checking what else we need to go through. So in between sessions, as I said, I'll be giving you some digital worksheets to do if you feel okay to do that. I don't like to refer to it as homework as such, but just exercises to help you get a little bit more confident with work and family and friends. And we can certainly do some behavioral exercises eventually when you're feeling a bit more confident, where that might involve real time calling a friend, or because it sounds to me like, and don't panic, it's at your pace. It sounds to me like this is something you do want to get comfortable with and want to,
yes, yes. Well, yes, we do live in the technical world, and I
yeah,
just, that pit in my stomach, every time I have to do it at work, and like I said, I do avoid it with family and friends. I much prefer just to talk on the phone. So
yeah.
it sounds like it probably will work for me now that you've explained all that very clearly, and I feel a bit more at ease now. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
that's good. And I just want you to leave with remembering that, excuse me, this is all at your pace and you're in
Okay.
control of how we run the sessions. I don't want to put any pressure on you. You're right. I think during COVID, we all sort of developed
Mm.
more technologies and started using them more. So it's sort of the way of the world. It can have its benefits, as I've said, travel time. But you've got to feel comfortable. And I think, we could work together. You've actually presented quite well today. I've good on you for sticking out through the whole video session. And
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
haven't
thank
picked
you.
up a lot of discomfort, and I'm not minimizing that you might have that internally. So I'm
Yeah.
very much aware. It takes practice. In between sessions, I am going to email you a link, and it's just a little bit more about privacy that you can look up for yourself. It's a government link, and it just goes into how users can be safe on, using platforms like this. So I'll email that to you. And also, I'd like you to consider, if you wanted
Okay.
to, there's a free app called the Smiling Mind app, and it's
Okay.
through the government. It's created by psychologists, and it does have a lot of mindfulness exercises that can help with anxiety, just breathing and winding down before a meeting, even during a meeting and at night
Okay.
time. So that could be helpful in between sessions. How does that
Yeah.
sound?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, we might wrap it up here. Congratulations. I think you did a great job today by sticking through the whole session, which you didn't have to. You can breathe now.
Thank you.
Have a deep
Yes.